Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Concealer Fest, and I'm very excited about this one, because on paper it sounds amazing. This is from Natasha Denona. It is the Hy-Glam Concealer. Retails for $30 for 0.25 ounce or 7.39 milliliters. Comes in 50 different shades, 50. I've got it in shade N4 Light Neutral. Let's find the description. It is vegan, cruelty-free, gluten-free, free of parabens and mineral oil. It is a game-changing concealer that has a full performance formula and advanced skincare properties. All right, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. This is a long-lasting creaseless concealer with a natural medium buildable coverage and luminous matte finish. The Hy-Glam Correcting Concealer is made with biomimetic pigments and texture perfecting microspheres for a flawless airbrushed result with a weightless natural look and supremely flexible feel. So they've got botanical stem cell actives in this thing, powered by a trio of actives. I wish they gave more information about all of that, because you know I'm a nerd about ingredients, but this thing on paper sounds fantastic. Natasha, don't do me wrong, girl. Don't do me wrong. Let's take a look at shade N4, swatched against a few others in my collection. Swatch time. First up is today's concealer from Natasha Denona, the Hy-Glam Concealer in shade N4. Second, I've got the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Vanilla. Third up is the Maybelline Age Rewind in Fair. And last, I've got from Fiera, the Luxury Concealer in Neutral Beige. Alright, let's get a look at the applicator. Oh, it's one of those. I don't think I've ever seen this applicator on a concealer. This is usually on a lip gloss. Alright. We can work with this. So I've got a damp sponge here. This is an EcoTools sponge, and now I can't remember if it's compostable or biodegradable, but whichever the case, I've been trying it and I've been enjoying it, and it's lovely as a sponge, and it's lovely that it's not going to sit in a landfill for a zillion years. When we're done with it, the other side I will use, this is my Sephora, it's the Pro Concealer brush, number 71. Let's take a look. Now, I was going for a slightly darker concealer, not darker than my foundation, but not brighter than my foundation, because I have been just not wearing brighter concealer. The lighter the concealer, if my concealer's lighter than my foundation, it has seemed to make me feel like it ages me more. So I've been darkening up the concealer. That was so easy. That was kind of silly. I was like not ready to be done. I lost my whole train of thought. I don't even know what I was saying. That usually takes longer. Okay, let me collect myself here. Pretty light coverage with a sponge, but there is coverage happening. I can tell, and does not look like a ton soaked into the sponge. A little bit, of course, as tends to do. But all right, I think that is a completely acceptable application if you're a sponge kind of person and you're just going for lighter coverage. Let's try the brush side. My two favorite concealer brushes are this one and one of the BK Beauty brushes. It's the Angie Hot and Flashy one. Let me finish this before I reach over it. This blends out so easily. I'm sorry, I just interrupted my own thought twice now. The other brush is very similar, just a little bit bigger. It's the BK Angie Hot and Flashy A506. And I love these two brushes because do you see the sort of angle to the shape of them? This one, just the BK Beauty, is just a little bit fluffier. They're just perfect. They have that little bit of a point that you can get into the corner of your eyes easily, but they've got enough flat surface that they blend out really quickly. And in this case, really quickly. I would say you do, as expected, get a little bit more coverage on a brush side, which would be probably true with fingertip as well. I'm just gonna go for a little bit more in this little darkest spot of my massive purple demonic evilness. I'm gonna go a little bit up in here too, just for the heck of it. Let's try and even out these two sides. I'm gonna stick with the brush. I almost always do brush for concealer because that trough in my inner corner here is very purple and my under eye circles are very purple. Now, I will admit, I have been slacking on my Science Serum Bright and Tight, and one of the things that Bright and Tight does is helps to minimize it like constricts the blood vessels under your eyes. So if the cause of your purple is leaking capillaries that are just pooling blood under there, then, which it seems to be true for me, then it helps to reduce that because it prevents the pooling because there's less blood leaking in under there. But I've been slacking. I've been lazy. Ooh, I like this. This coverage is nice. It built up fine. Just making sure I'm smoothed into my skin tint down here. All right. Let's zoom in and get a good look at this one. It is, I would say, definitely medium to full coverage. I would call this. I think this is a good amount of concealer coverage if that is what you're going for. They call it a luminous matte finish. I'm gonna say it's definitely on the matte side. It's still got a little bit of reflect to it, so it's not flat, so that is good. But I would say it is on the matte side, and the thing that is potentially going to do as I go throughout the day, the way mattes typically perform on me, is that sometimes it will make the fine lines under my eyes a little bit more visible. Not that it accentuates them, but it just doesn't hide them as much. I feel like I have like a line of demarcation right under here that I need to fix. So we'll see if that happens. I can kind of tell that it's possible just based on what it looks like right now, but I do feel like the coverage just very nicely put a veil of a youthfulness to it. Like, I think because it is so nicely blending out any discoloration that's going on there. So I just realized that when I zoomed in to do my check-in, I did not set my, sorry if this is a little bright here, let me darken it. There we go. Is that better? Can you guys see my face better? I just realized when I looked at the camera that I didn't set the setting back from when it was zoomed in. So, is that better? Can you see better now? It is, I kind of like this. I kind of like this. We gotta see how this goes throughout the day. It is 1:10 p.m. Let me go put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. Back with the Natasha Denona Hy-Glam. Gotta say, this stuff held up really well to a lot of manipulation, and I had to reapply a little bit because I messed up my eyeshadow and got some under my eyes and all kinds of that. And so, bravo, it handled it well. Can't really tell that I was messing with it. So that is a good thing. Everything I'm wearing is always linked down below. Gonna go do some things. Gotta set up for an event tomorrow, a vendor event, and then I'll come back tonight and we'll see how this one wore. 11:42 p.m. That puts us somewhere around the 10-hour mark. Let's take a look at how the Natasha Denona Hy-Glam Concealer held up. I'm pretty shocked at how much coverage is still left. I do think it looks the tiniest amount dry, like it has lost that luminous matte ishness to it. It does look a little bit flat in dimension now. Not drying as in drying to the skin, but dry as in sort of a matte, a flatter matte. But the amount of purple that I can't see is pretty impressive for this point in the evening. Let's zoom in and get a look at this one. So it did not settle into lines. It did not move around. I gave it a very challenging day today. I was sweating and setting things up at my event, and it stayed put. It didn't move, and I don't think it's accentuating anything. I can see some of my finer lines, so it's not at this point blurring them completely away, but that's a pretty tall order, so I don't know many concealers that do that at this point in the evening. So overall, I'm really impressed with this one. It wore wonderfully in challenging conditions. I think it held its coverage, which is more than most concealers do. These are kind of... Concealers tend to fade away on me throughout the day, and this one held pretty strong. And I can live with it not being super luminous come evening time. It is described as a matte. Yes, I did change my nails. I'm seeing them in the camera. I was going for patriotic for my event tomorrow, and I think I actually more look like I'm auditioning for Wonder Woman, but whatever. If I had to give a grade to the Natasha Denona Hy-Glam Concealer, what do you think, Ziva? She's hiding behind me. I think I have to give it an A. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it is lovely. Lovely. I will reach for this one for sure. There you have it. Another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. If you like that's not foundation. Concealer Fest is in the books. If you like concealer reviews, if you had fun with this one, give me a thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments, what concealers would you like me to test and try out? I don't do a lot of concealers. I do way more foundations than concealers, but if there's a good one that you really want to know about, let me know. I keep a running list. I buy them whenever I can. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.